It's me, Josh Hunter, presently in the city of Santa Monica, California. Trying to mitigate a very intense kind of, I don't know what it is. Anyway, so as you know, I'm gonna be I'm engaged to be married to Emma Chamberlain, and it's important for me to make proper preparations, and I want to make sure that I'm fully prepared. So anyway, I was listening to her podcast, and a couple of weeks ago I had listened to it, and she had said something about not being upset at people, like people who are like narcissists or something, people who are too involved in like themselves or whatever, they ruin people's lives. And it made me, I had a bad reaction, and because I don't know, I thought it was a little disrespectful, because from what I did a lot of studying. I don't just get engaged to be married to just about anyone. And because I was also watching the YouTube of Cody Co or whatever, and I don't know, I don't remember what quality it was, but there was some quality that she said, and she's like, oh, this type of person, that type of person ruins people's lives. I'm like, wait a minute, Cody Co, he exemplifies this fucking quality. Anyway, so I got a little upset, and so I had to stop. I had to stop listening to the podcast. I had to stop, literally, the day that podcast came out, I watched it, and I listened to it, and so I stopped, and then I stopped watching a whole bunch of YouTubers that I was watching, because I was watching Cody's YouTube as well, and I just stopped completely, and I just focused on watching movies or whatever. Anyway, so now that my engagement to Taylor Swift has been broken off, and that I'm now going to be engaged to Emma Chamberlain, I got to make sure that I'm as awesome as I can possibly be. So I'm doing my research, and so I'm listening to her podcast. So it's been a couple of weeks, so I've been missing out on all these things, and so I'm listening to this podcast about advice for guys or whatever, and I'm listening to all this. I don't know. I'm finding this a little hard to believe. As I'm listening to it, I'm realizing it makes me realize how fucking old I am. I'm that's why I end all my videos with oh, I'm 33 years old, so I don't fucking forget. And it's all these things, all the things she's describing, oh, this is the type of guy that girls like or whatever. I'm this can't be true. I'm what are you talking about? I'm 0 for 30. Okay, now look, I'm not saying I'm the greatest fucking guy who ever lived, but I should at least have one friend, is what I'm saying. At least one friend. And I can't buy a vowel, I'm not gonna say that anymore. And I can't, it's making me feel something. I don't want it to be anger. I hope it's not anger, because I'm trying to be healthy here, and it's because my mind starts having this idea, is everyone lying? Every single person that I meet lying? Is this what's going on? Just a world full of liars? And what does that make me? Am I lying too? And what am I lying about? And I don't know. I can't. It's okay, a guy, they want a guy who listens, a guy who's, I'm not saying I'm smart, I'm not the dumbest fuck who ever lived or whatever. They want someone to care about your feelings, to be sensitive, all these fucking things. I'm I did this for fucking a decade, more than a decade, with no results, except people shitting on me, constantly. and and ignoring me completely. And that's their right. They're human beings, so they do what they got to do. And so I am, I don't know, like, and I guess you'll have to be the judge, right? I mean, I have over like 200 something videos here on this YouTube describing myself, my personality. There's no edits, there's no cuts. It's literally 15 minutes of me talking. I haven't scripted anything, and even if I did, I mean, it all has to contain some genuine amount of myself. So, what does your woman's intuition tell you about me? Okay, am I like some like hateful person who does not deserve anything, like just the basic things? And there's a I was listening to, so I want to make sure that we work out everything beforehand. That's what I'm saying, like, because I mean, when I talk about getting married, like, I'm serious, right? Okay, that could be dismissive. I might be like a dismissive person, I don't know. And like, I understand, like, this whole idea of like, okay, get a job, be a man. Right? Is that what this is? Like, if I were just to, so if the situation were reversed, right? And like, if I had a wife and she like didn't want to work, and I had to be the breadwinner, how would we feel about that situation? Like, all she had to do was just like hang out. How would, generally speaking, how would we feel about that situation? Because we're saying we're all equal, right? That's what this is, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't want to work, but I'm willing to do like, the listening, I'm willing to do like the various things that apparently the qualities that people want. Now look, I know I'm not like, not fucking like George Clooney or something. I mean, as far as my looks are concerned. I mean, I could put a bag on my head or something. I just, I don't know. I can't tell, like, if I'm just like bad at telling like who's lying and who isn't, and if all these people are lying, like, then what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to, like, because like as I'm listening to this podcast, I'm like, man, all I want to do right now is play like 500 hours of video games. Like, that's what I'm like. As I'm listening to this, I'm like, please, I want like to play lots of video games, like right fucking now. And like, I'm trying to gain perspective because, I am like 33 years old, and like, I can't seem to make a go of anything. And like, even just like the basic things, I don't feel like I'm like mentally retarded or something, or autistic, or unable to make like these proper social steps. I don't feel weird. I don't feel awkward. I try to be as concerned about other people as I can. I try to be respectful. Like, all the things that that ladies are saying that they want, in even just a friendly associate, and nothing. Like, there isn't like a single woman who passes me by on the street and says, you know what, I think I'd like this guy in my life. I think I'd like to spend a lot of time with him. Not a single woman passes by and feels that to such a degree as to actually do something about it. Why? So I'm assuming women's intuition or whatever it is that guides that decision is telling them that there's something, I guess, bad about me, or something distinctly unpleasant. And then I gotta ask myself, is there something about me which is just like repulsive? All right, I am covered in bugs, and I don't take showers, and I eat out of the trash all goddamn day. But I assume that these things are so superficial that someone would be able to actually, one woman did once say, "Oh, I see all through this. I see through all this. I know what's under." A woman said that to me once. So, all right, not all women are ignoring, but I have all these things as a superficial guard, because there isn't anybody out there who's like trying to like protect me or keep me safe. And that was the line. That was the fucking thing that got me. That I was just like, because then I'm listening to this podcast and she's saying what ladies generally want to feel. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So she is like, like she's a very young woman, so I don't expect her to like know every fucking thing. But she says generally speaking, like what women want, a part of the things that they want from a man is they want the man to make her feel safe and comfortable. And apparently, I don't do that. Like I guess I'm not very good at that. And so I'm wondering, like if I just continue to make efforts to become this, wouldn't that also be just like a false thing too? So like, should I? We need to work this out. We need to work this out now before like. Anyway, so I would like to know what if you are a woman or someone who feels that you understand men like very well. If you feel that you are a person who really truly understands men, all men, please tell me what's the reason and be honest. Like, why am I not a person who deserves like this very basic thing? Like, I'm not saying like just like the basic like I don't know, like friendship. Why don't I deserve even friendship? Just like I'm not like even like if a lady was just like, oh, I would like to have lunch with you once a month or twice or twice a month. Why do I not even deserve that? And then let's say not necessarily deserving, like what makes me so like out of harmony with everyone else that like no one feels comfortable just like. And like I said, I don't really like dudes. So like I wouldn't want like a dude coming up to me like, oh dude, I just want to have lunch with you twice a month. Like, no, fuck that dude, go somewhere else. And maybe that's why. Maybe if I was more concerned about dudes. But if a lady was like, if there was like a general harmony and she was like, oh, lunch twice a month just to make sure. And I'm not saying that I need that. It's just, it's nice, just like, I mean, if it's genuine, if someone is just like trying to meet a quota or something, like, well, I was nice to him for 2 days out of the month. So there we go. I was officially nice. You see the cameras said it. The cameras got it. I was very nice, and no one can say that I wasn't nice to this fucking guy. I'm saying it's better to just not even acknowledge me, as that's what people are doing generally. But I don't know. Like the thing is, like I'm still like a relevant component. I'm still like a part of this system. And I mean, if there weren't people like profiting handsomely off of my specific efforts, which can definitely be proven, like it wouldn't be such an issue. Or like if I was just like some schmuck who never helped anyone even once, then yeah, you could say, oh, fuck this guy, let him die in the gutter. But it can be definitively proven like that I've given real assistance to people, and there are people like who would not be alive if I had not done specific things. There's that people who would not have like fucking bread on their table without my efforts. And I'll leave that up to you to prove it. Like I'm not gonna say that like a bunch of times. So the dog, the cats, which are in my fucking space, eating my birthday cake. Like, what is this? Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to get angry because I know that's just going to make me unable to see clearly. Like, I don't communicate clearly when I'm like in severe suffering. Like, I'm not good at it. Like, because there's no way for me to communicate it without you feeling that suffering. And if you do that, you might go fucking crazy. Like, it's that much pain. Like, the kind of pain that just makes you like insane. So I'm trying to like make sure that your minds are kept safe from all this, because there's a lot of fucking stars in the night sky, and like you don't understand like what not every human body is built the same, and we all have different reactions to starlight. And I don't know. Anyway, I think it'll be a good marriage though. I think we'll work things out pretty nicely. I'm 33 years old, and I've got the best grades on earth.